How is it going, guys, girls, and gamers alike? Shaggy Games here, and I don't know, I've been a little salty recently. I went on Steam and saw that there was a game that was basically a blatant ripoff of Overwatch, a $60 game, mind you, that is out for beta and is essentially free, and is literally just the same game, just reskinned. Not as good, don't get me wrong, it definitely helps to be a big developer, but this basically inspired this rant. So if you guys do like my rants, leave a like below, subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know if I should do more rants like this again, and yeah, here, let's get right into it. Turret Guy, the raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy, Turtle, Grapple, Winston, Dude, Sir Reinhardt, Soldier, 70 Trillion, Rumple, Stilt, Diva, literally just the Reaper, and Groot. That is basically the list of people that are in this game, among many others that are just rip-offs of things. But, I mean, none of these characters are, like, original. Reinhardt literally has the same exact fucking shield. In this game, I don't know, it's Fernando, whatever the fuck his name is, literally has the same fucking shield bullshit in this as he does as Reinhardt does in Overwatch. The Turtle dude, it literally has the same shield thing as Winston, and he's an animal. He also has the same grapple thing as Roadhog. This whole game is like a mismatch of fucking just Overwatch mixed with Guardians of the Galaxy, like I said before. This was just like a lot of other games trying to do what it thinks it can do, and it just can't. It's just not good. It's just not a fun game. I've played it for a decent amount of time, and it's just not fun. I don't really have another way to say it. I mean, literally, it's the same game modes as Overwatch. Only really one game mode. Overwatch at least has two. But you secure an objective, you get a payload, which is literally called a payload in this game. You get the payload and you start driving it, and through the matches that I've played, or at least on the map, the one map that's in this pretty much in this game. I think it's only one map. I don't know for sure. I probably shouldn't say that in like a factual rant if I don't know for sure. But yeah, you play the one game or the one map, and then you go in, you get stopped in the middle, and then you get fucked. And you get one per checkpoint that you hit. You have a maximum of 2 that you can hit per round. It's just trying so hard to be the game that's popular right now, which is surprisingly enough, through further research, something that happens a lot in video games. I didn't know this until this game came out. I researched it some more. I knew of some games in the back of my mind just from, you know, not really playing them. I never played too many of these, like rip-off games that I'm about to show you, except for this one right here, Paladins, or whatever the fuck this is called. I played this one. This one's ass, so I'm presuming the other ones are ass too. It just doesn't come with the same charm as like the game that like it's copying gets. I mean, it's copying it, and it's gonna get the people that are like, oh, that looks like that, I want to purchase that. It's the equivalent. This is like the equivalent of I don't know if you guys watch I Hate Everything. He has a series of like rip-off, like Disney rip-offs. That's what this feels like to me. It's just like a Disney rip-off, trying to get the money for it. They get it, and then it's like, fuck, you know, like now we gotta entertain people now that we have the audience, which they can't do that. This game is, I think I ended a match with like 37 kills and 7 deaths. It is surprisingly easy to get kills to death ratio like high as hell in this game, which makes you feel like you're doing phenomenal, but it's not hard to do. So in all reality, it's not difficult at all. The power-ups are lame, the ones that aren't copied at least. So like there's a chick in here that's a little bit of Hanzo, a little bit of Borderlands Mordecai, and then a little bit of the Brave chick from the Disney films, all kind of like rolled into one person. You get a little hawk thing as a power-up, which literally just spots people from afar, and but other than that, she's Hanzo with the bow and has one shot or one really accurate shot or an explosion shot. There's a dude with a revolver that's literally McCree. You can shoot one shot, or you can go for the full clip. There's Sir Reinhardt, which I've already given you. Turret Guy, who's essentially True Bjorn. I don't know his name in this game. I don't care enough to go that far with it. But essentially True Bjorn, who puts down and builds turrets. It's just a whole lot of bullshit rolled into one. It's like Overwatch if nothing was balanced and nothing was ever accomplished. That is easily the best way I can explain it. I don't know how else to put it. The only thing that I like in this game that isn't in Overwatch, you do have to be fair in some retrospects, is the fact that you ride on a horse into the map. Because when you die in Overwatch, I think everybody can relate to this, unless you're Soldier 76, you're not sprinting anywhere, especially like the tanky heroes. You gotta go from your spawn, unless you have a teleport, which is not likely because no one ever fucking plays that person. You gotta go from your spawn all the way to wherever your payload is, which adds a little bit of challenge in the overtime aspect. which this game also copies in the overtime aspect. Not saying that Overwatch was the first person to ever touch an overtime, but they do kind of copy that aspect, along with a lot of other ones, as I've already mentioned. But like being able to ride on a horse to where you are just kind of like ruins that overtime aspect, because you can get there in like an instant, but then there's just a clusterfuck of people trying to kill each other, and then nothing ever gets fucking accomplished. This game, don't download it, don't support it. I am against it 1010%, just from it being a rip-off game. And I am against 90% of these rip-off games that I'm about to go through. There's one that I can say, alright, but the other ones are, fuck them.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Alright, so Simpsons Road Rage is literally Crazy Taxi with Simpsons character. That's what you gotta expect out of this shit. If you're ever gonna play it, or if you have played it in the past, it's literally Homer or whoever you pick is driving a car around, and then when he's driving the car around, you gotta go through traffic. Oh no, wacky things, and you're gonna try to get the person to whatever destination they want to go, and you gotta get them there as quick as possible. If you run out of time, then you have failed, and you gotta go pick somebody else up. You get more money, I think, the longer you take, but you gotta like still get them there in a timely fashion. It's Crazy Taxi. But if you get them there fast enough, you get bonuses and so on and so forth. If you guys have played Crazy Taxi, I don't really need to explain too much of this game to you, other than the fact that this is Crazy Taxi with Simpsons characters in it. From what I hear, again, I haven't played this game. Links to everyone whose gameplays I've used will be in the descriptions below. But this game is literally, from what I hear, handles horribly, and is super glitchy. So it was more of a just like, we're gonna completely reskin a game. We're gonna make it shit. And yeah, you guys are probably gonna purchase it anyway. Let's be real. They know the audience in the sense of like, oh my god, there's Simpsons characters. I know these people, and they're gonna purchase the game and be like, oh, this game is ass, but whatever. There's Simpsons characters. But no, people are gonna complain about the game being ass if it's an ass game. So yeah, I don't know. My main gripe with this, like I said, is it is a Simpsons game skinned with Crazy Taxi, but like for some reason doesn't settle like the fandom of like either audience. Like as a Simpsons fan, not a fan of this game, or at least from what I've seen of this game. Again, I haven't played it, and as a fan of the game Crazy Taxi, this is not like a appealing game to me. So you would think I would appeal to both of these things, but no, it's just a terrible thing. Now, I know this looks like Super Mario, but oh ho ho, are you wrong? This is, I gotta look up the name, I don't even fucking remember it. The fuck is it? The Giana sisters. That's even worse than I thought it was gonna be. This is the fucking, that's so funny. Instead of the Super Mario Brothers, it is the something Giana sisters. What the fuck is it? That's really, it's the Great Giana sisters. The Great. Instead of the Super, they're the Great, and instead of the brothers, they're the sisters, and then they just pick the name. How easy is that? I wish I knew it was gonna be this fucking easy to just literally repurpose a thing. Instead of collecting coins, you're collecting gems, you get power-ups, you grow in like size, or I guess she just grows in insanity. You get power-ups, there's literally fucking Goombas. I don't know what else the fuck those could be. Those are fucking Goombas. Yeah, there's the blocks. It's literally, it takes copying to a new level, and that's the only way I could really explain this. It's because it's literally, there's such shorter stages, and they're not challenging at all from what it looks like, but it literally is just, it's just like, this looks like something, so we're gonna make it a game, like a completely new game. I know it looks exactly the same, but it's gonna be completely different in some way, I guess. I don't know, this looks pretty fucking similar to me. It's a platformer, it's a 2D scroller, and not all 2D scrollers are fucking Mario, but the Great Giana sisters and Super Mario Bros, that's a little bit too close for comfort. Yeah, N.O.V.A, I apologize for the gameplay. This is the best I could find of it. It's a little boring. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more entertaining, but it is what it is. I mean, it's still gameplay of it nonetheless. And that could attest to how shitty the controls of this game are. But looking at this game and Halo side by side, I can't do it for you right now. Or maybe I do. Who knows? Fucking, I don't want to promise anything. But if you were to look at two of this and Halo side by side, you probably couldn't tell the difference. It's just like Halo, I mean, you could definitely tell the difference, but like the characters are like unbelievably similar. The guns are unbelievably similar. The art style is unbelievably similar, which is something that ties a lot of these games together, is that the art style and like the copying aspects of it are just so uncannily similar, I guess is the word to say. They're just so similar that it's like you clearly just blatantly stole something, you know? The only thing I'm missing from this game is like an announcer screaming like headshot or like Kilimanjaro, or like something along those lines. That's what I'm waiting out of this game. Otherwise, it's fucking Halo. Right, Fighter's history. Wow, this again. I've said this before, but this takes copying to a new fucking level. I mean, the main character name is Ray, right? Or at least he seems like the main character from what I've seen of it. He literally has all of Ryu's moves. He's one letter off from being Ryu's name. And by the way, the other character that's in this gameplay is Ryoko, which is fucking hilarious too. But Ray has a pretty much a Shoryuken, Hadouken, and whatever the fucking fireball. I probably already said the name, but I'm not huge into Street Fighter whatsoever. But he's got literally fucking Ryu's moves. From what we've seen, there's the big bulky dude, and then they're like, let's rename Street Fighter characters, give them the same moves, and maybe reskin them and change the color a little bit around, and maybe change like little things here and there, so it's not exactly the same game, but it's gonna be 110% the same game. And I don't know, that it's like it's about as close to Street Fighter as you can get without going over by Price is Right rules. And it's wow, it's just the character names aren't creative. It's like if this game came out before Street Fighter, then maybe it's got an excuse, but it's just not a great game otherwise. This one I have had the pleasure of playing, and it's just not good. It's really not. The only thing that it's got going for it is that it's a cheaper Street Fighter, and I think that's what's got most of these games going for it, is that they're cheaper than the games that they're trying to copy. And I don't know, we'll get into that more right now. Okay. Alright, so like I was saying, these games are, the only thing they've got going for them is that they're cheaper than the games that they're mimicking. So we got Paladins, which is cheaper than Overwatch by $60, right? So would you rather get a shittier version of a $60 game that has a lot of the same aspects, or would you rather get the $60 game that is pretty polished and pretty good? That is the question that most of these are asking. And I think fuck these companies that are making these games. Fucking the company that made Smite has made Paladins, and I mean this goes for all these other companies as well. But the company that made fucking Smite, one of the top games, couldn't come up with their own original idea and had to copy 90% of Overwatch and 10% of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a joke, but I mean, in all reality, that's what they're copying with when they created the characters. Inspiration is inspiration, but mimicry is mimicry. And this is fucking crazy that they could get away with this. I do not support any of these games just off of the pure aspect of people have worked their entire lives to, and maybe not their entire lives. People have put countless hours, that's the right way to say it, countless hours, if not more, into creating Overwatch, into creating Street Fighter, into creating Crazy Taxi, I guess, I don't know, Halo, definitely one of them. But the people have put time and effort into those games and coming up with original ideas, original characters, original plot lines, and to have another company just come in and shit all over it and rip it off is really, really sad to see, especially with Overwatch, a game that I am loving right now. I pretty much am never off that game. I play it once a day. It's an addiction on its own. But that game is so great, and when I saw that this game just like fucking took it and took a shit on it and then slapped it across the face is just so terrible to see. And I don't want anyone supporting this game at all. Maybe once they bring in some originality, you can support it and as its own entity. but as what it is right now, it's not even fun as it is. Like, as an Overwatch ripoff, I don't know if I just like Overwatch more. I don't know if I'm Overwatch fanboying, but people have said it's a poor man's Overwatch, but it's not even fun. It's like not even fun compared to Overwatch. Like, there's just no heart put into the game. It's just like, this is a popular thing, we're gonna make it. And that is actually where I'm gonna end this episode off. So if you guys did enjoy, leave a like below. Subscribe if you want to see more. Definitely check out some of my other rants. Those are pretty good in my opinion. I have a rant on the worst video game company on planet fucking Earth, EA. And then I have, I think that's the only rant I've done. I've played Overwatch on my channel, so if you want to see the better version of Paladins, definitely check that out as well. I'll put cards on the top right, just press the I or whatever the fuck it is. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy, subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one then. Peace!
I'm at an all-time